Emine Ülker Tarhan is on her way to meet with her voters. She hits the campaign trail every day for the opposition Republican People's Party, or CHP, visiting her constituents at home in Ankara. Wherever Tarhan goes, the crowds follow. Some young, some old, some with headscarves and some without. The women share one thing in common. They're tired of Turkey's social imbalances.
I don't want any charity from the government. I just want my son to get out of the house and find a job.
Only 1 in every 5 Turkish women is employed. In the European Union, an average of 1 in every 2 women has a job. Tarhan has promised to do what she can to help, even though her CHP party trails far behind the governing party in the polls.
The CHP has 109 female candidates across Turkey. That's more than the other parties, but it's not enough. We need a 50% quota for women, not just in politics, but in business, administration, and everywhere else.
Tarhan quit her job as a judge to protest the changes Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan's government made to the justice system. She says Turkey has become more conservative and less democratic under Erdogan's rule.
We're a half democracy, but that doesn't mean we should just sit back and do nothing. For the sake of our children, we have to defend ourselves.
Tarhan takes her message to a local radio station. Turkey's media has been accused of being too friendly with the government, and she says the country's press freedom is under threat. She also believes the government is tapping her phone, but she hasn't been able to prove it. A gun salute for one of Turkey's best-known female politicians, Leyla Zana, a leading figure in the Kurdish freedom movement in Turkey. Today, she's touring the villages along the Iraqi border. She spent over 10 years in prison for her involvement in promoting Kurdish rights. Now she's campaigning in Kurdish regions as an independent candidate. She speaks Kurdish along the way, something that would never have been possible just a few years ago. Her message is directed to the men and women in the crowd.
A Kurdish mother can raise 10 children and run 10 households if she needs to. It's actually women who are leading the fight for Kurdish rights.
But in many Kurdish regions, women still lack rights. Honor killings and forced marriages are still prevalent. Women here hope that Leyla Zana will change their lives for the better if she's elected to parliament.
She needs to give abused women a voice. We want justice.
Zana has never denied that the Kurdish Workers' Party, or PKK, is supporting her campaign, despite the fact that the party is illegal. She is often threatened with new lawsuits, but she says the political landscape is changing.
Turkey's politics have changed because the government has been forced to make changes. Still, they haven't kept their promises. The headscarf debate is unresolved, Turkey hasn't moved any closer to entering the EU, and a lot of Kurdish hopes haven't been fulfilled. So the government has failed on 3 key issues.
Emine Tarhan's campaign, meanwhile, has picked up steam as the candidates enter the final stretch before the elections. Turkey's secular constituency appears optimistic, despite the challenge ahead. Tarhan says the country's women will suffer the most if the conservatives stay in power.
The Prime Minister has called on Turkish women to have at least 3 children and stay at home. That's the mentality of our government.
Around 280 women are campaigning for a seat in Turkey's parliament, the most ever. And Emine Tarhan's chances at winning one look good.